So warm in here. Oh my god, it's so I fucking love this.
Yo, we just started the show. And
5 minutes later.
Yeah, not even 2 minutes later.
Strobe lights and shit.
Yeah, he's just like, God, this is a beautiful fucking beer.
Call the strippers. Wake up in the morning and find something to watch. Wandering my plants and checking on my crimes. Not enough love in the world. Not enough love in the world.
The Greenhouse with Goodness and Vic.
Episode 8 and we live. I feel the funk. Dip, dip, die. You're making me cry. With that onion between your thighs. Shout out to Del Lasso.
Let's go. What up? Greenhouse, episode 8.
This is how we're going to do. We're going to skate into Le Fin del Mundo, the end of the world.
The end of the world. Salud.
Salud. It's hot. It's hot. It's July. The end of July.
Damn, it's already July.
We're going to drink a little bit of brewskis today. We're going to, ooh, look at that pour.
That was the worst pour I've ever done in my life.
Hold on.
But look at that. La Fin du Monde. This is 9% alcohol volume.
This is my favorite beer. I wanted to share my favorite beer with you. And I know that you're a Budweiser guy, but
Is anyone actually a Budweiser person?
Oh.
I don't know anyone who actively drinks Budweiser. I only know people who drink Bud Light.
I'm going to have to take off my mask for this. I can't drink with my mask on.
So, Greenhouse, episode 8. My name is Vic.
I'm Goodness.
And we're here live, bringing to you amazing everything. Music, amazing beer.
That's better head than a hooker on Holt.
You know from experience, bro?
I don't know. I was just trying to be witty. So I'm not.
This is 9%, so I just want to say now, I'm not liable for anything else I say moving forward. Because
what do you think about that? What do you think about
good.
that flavor? It's really good.
That's
right?
really good.
This is my favorite beer right here. You eat this with a steak.
What is this? A
good
Belgian
hamburger.
style triple ale. You know, you don't even find beer. Maybe this is just me. You don't even find beer that's this strong unless it's an IPA. And I gotta tell you, I like IPAs, but I'm kind of over them.
But this is not considered.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an IPA.
I don't like IPAs really that much. I'm not really a big IPA guy, but I like Belgian beers. The triple ale is my favorite. We're gonna drink another one after this.
We're just you're just gonna sit here and watch us drink this entire
There's
show.
two favorite beers that I like and that I bought them today just so you can taste them.
Wow.
And I wanted to kind of like school you on some of the beers that I like.
Okay.
Not school you on beers, obviously, but
I only drink Stella Artois.
yeah, I'm only Stella.
That's it.
Stella.
And Angry Orchard.
Or Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
The champagne of beers.
Who doesn't know about that?
I have to have a conversation with the Miller High Life people because that was some great marketing.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that I'm drinking because I'm actually allergic to beers.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
I'm allergic to alcohol.
Wait, so what happens when you drink beers? Do I have to be worried?
I break out.
Hey, anyone got an EpiPen, bro?
I break out in handcuffs.
Stupid.
It's like I start drinking. Before you know it, it just becomes a party, and then before you know it, I'm locked up and
locked up. Cue Akon right here.
I gotta get bailed out. Hey, but you guys have the credit card on file, right?
That's that bail money.
Just bail me out, guys. You know what to do.
Can you put bail on a credit card?
Should be. Shit, I think that's my only lifesaver.
So. That's all we got.
I mean, no one's gonna walk with like $20K into any kind of bail bonds. Aladdin. Hey, shout out to Aladdin bail bonds.
Shout out to Aladdin bail bonds. Always chilling next to your local Hall of Justice.
That's actually the homie right there. Aladdin bail bonds.
Oh my goodness.
Respect.
Cheers to that. Salud.
Helping people get out of jail for at least a day.
We're here. We're back. We're gonna be talking.
Wait.
Wait. Do it slower though. Do it slower. Beer.
You take one of these beers to your uncle's house and he'll fucking slap you in the face.
He'll look at you and just be like, All right, mijo, but where's the Bud Light?
Yeah, where's the Bud Light? That's fine and all, but
That's not Tecate.
it tastes like
Hey,
soap.
¿qué dice la findu? What's a pinche monde, güey?
Sabe fabuloso.
Se huele como fabuloso. You trying to kill me, primo?
Oh man, this beer's so good and it's so warm in here. Oh my god, it's so I fucking love this.
Yo, we just started the show. And
5
he's already
minutes
almost
later.
done. Yeah,
It's
not
all
even 2 minutes later.
Strobe lights and shit.
Yeah, he's just like, God, this is a beautiful fucking beer.
Call the strippers.
He's like, I told you I break out in handcuffs, fool.
They're like they're the fuzzy ones.
Fool, you straight up look like you're coming out of a 90s hip hop video right now, bro.
Oh, yeah?
You're rocking that fit.
This is me, bro. This is me, bro. I'm throwing ones in the air right now. Nah,
I only have one to throw.
This is fat boy attire.
Swag?
Yeah, this is like fat boy, like comfortable, sporty, and I could still
Look fucking good,
like
bro.
go to dinner and they'll be like, nah, they'll let me in.
Wow.
Because they'll be like, oh, you just came back from playing golf or something, you know?
Yo, golf is the one sport that you can get away with, and it's like you can be doing anything and had played golf, and no one's like, wow, you just came from playing golf? No,
And
you're fine.
They need to make like hip hop golf gear.
Low key, that's kind of this fit right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't play golf though. I need to pick it up. I started picking it up for a little bit, but
I don't know. I'm wearing my favorite color, black, like
Yeah, I
my
know.
heart.
I know
I have so much taste in color.
it's slimming.
I'm telling you, man, whether I'm physically getting medianoche or I'm visually getting medianoche, who knows? It's all a conspiracy.
So tell me about this beer. What do you think about this beer?
It's really good. I really like Belgian ales in general. I really like light beers because if I drink too many dark beers, I'm just like, I'm just super bloated and I don't want to do anything anymore. But it's strong. And let's be real, at the end of the day, I'm really just looking to get my buzz on, you know what I'm saying?
There's a warning here. You can't drink it if you're pregnant. Just to let you know.
Fuck. Hey, cut it.
You
Hey,
shouldn't,
cut it. Hey,
or you
that's
shouldn't.
not funny. Hey, cut it. Hey, cut it, bro. Hey, cut it. That's not funny.
Woo.
That's not funny, bro.
Woo.
I need to go see my doctor immediately.
Nah, but for real, this is my favorite beer at all time.
I like it. Thank you for sharing it with me, bro.
Salud,
Gracias,
man.
salud,
Salud.
man. I appreciate it. All right. Before all we do is talk about beer, let's talk about what's going on.
But
But more about beer. Okay, all right.
no. But when we used to drink beers, like literally, I used to, one of the things that we would do growing up, and I think we talked about it last episode, or no, we actually talked about it yesterday, is like before the night started, you had to have your 40 and your blunt before
Yep,
you went
all
out.
day.
And you go to a concert or whatever, right? Right now, COVID, we can't go to any concerts right now, right?
Yeah, I know.
So
We were just talking about how much we miss them, man.
I want to go to memory lane right now and start thinking about what were one of your favorite concerts that you've been to, and
Man, honestly, probably one of the best concerts I've been to in recent years is I want to go see Anderson .Paak. And Anderson .Paak's probably one of the best live performers ever.
is it Anderson .Paak or Paak?
I don't know. All I know is that the
You
period
sound
is...
you sound like a paisa when you say
Ay,
Paak.
¿sabes qué? Me encanta Anderson .Paak,
Me gusta
güey.
el Anderson .Paak.
Hey, es como un pack, you know? So it's good. I like it. It's good on a pack.
I thought it was Anderson .Paak.
Whatever, bro. Anderson .Paak, Pac, it's the same thing. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
He's so
guess.
good, though. He's so good. He's
so talented, right?
And his live performance is out of this world.
Even though he's at the top of his career, he's doing beer commercials. Is
he doing a beer commercial?
he's doing all these commercials. He's like super one of the more popular. He's doing TV.
That one's
He's
done.
doing movie soundtracks. I still think he's underrated.
100%. 100%. I mean, he's at this point in his career where you can throw him on any chorus, hook, even a verse.
Shout out to his band.
And
Did the
he
Free
kills it.
Nationals too? Woo.
Amazing. And all their releases are good too. They don't even need him. It's amazing because they can mutually exist and kill it, and then they can kill it together. and
Dude,
it's
like,
amazing.
I mean, I'm old, I'm like 40 years old, and you're not really gonna see me at too many concerts because, someone's got to take care of the kids,
Yeah.
and so it's unfair for my wife to not go with me, and
But y'all probably went to a bunch of concerts together when you were first dating, right?
we did, and so, we've
already got that
seen
beer
a lot
break.
of concerts. We went to a lot of concerts that we didn't even know that each other, and we were at the same concerts.
Really?
Yeah. So
And
it's
y'all
cool.
just talked about it later on?
Later on, we're like, oh, dude. One was Live at the Barbecue. That was a concert. I think it was in Orange County, and it was De La Soul, Common, like
Wow,
like,
wait, you saw De La Soul and Common on the same lineup?
It was like before it was like they were super blown up.
Wow.
Like, it was like one of the best shows. I think Dead Prez was there. It was like one of the best shows ever.
Wait,
Shout
how
out
was
to-
seeing De La Soul and Common together live? Like, it was a festival?
It was a festival. It was called Live at the Barbecue, and shout out to everybody with Fat Beats. I think it was Fat Beats and Elements.
year?
Elements. I think it was about early 2000s, around
Okay.
2002. Shout out to DJ Bonds and everybody that put that together. Probably one of the better shows that I've ever been to. It was an outdoor event.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope. It was
Damn.
it was really dope. Early 2000s.
That's amazing. Wait,
Yeah.
so, okay, well, I never got a chance to see De La Soul. How was seeing De La Soul live?
The amazing energy, bro. If showmanship. They're still one of the true school hip hoppers where, their performance is almost even better live than it is on record.
Yeah.
It's like it's definitely a treat to see them do their thing
their
and
thizzle.
because they're so passionate about hip hop.
Right.
And
I mean, that's OG hip hop. When you talk about hip hop and you talk about some of the greats,
Yeah.
you talk about some of the people who left an impact on the scene,
Right.
they're on that list, always.
and they're passionate about it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're super mega like I don't know, like famous, so they like kind of like over it type of attitude.
Yeah.
It's generally like they're fans of hip hop, grew up being hip hops, and they're trying to impress their peers. Every
That's
time.
awesome.
It's
That's
like,
awesome. And it was about bettering the scene in general.
Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
adding your piece to the legacy of hip hop,
Right.
and what hip hop stands for. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Wait, so what would you say, what was the best part of seeing them live? Because there's always a moment when you see artists live, at least in my experience, where there's that one song that maybe you didn't even expect to just pop off because it's an album cut or whatever, but they do it so differently live and they have something about it that's special.
Well, they always, every time they do a live show, they always, for some reason, have to mention. I think every artist that has a #1 single that kind of blew up without them really wanting it to blow up is what song was it?
2,000 years later.
Me, Myself, and I. Me, Myself, and
their
I.
most famous song.
Yeah, Me, Myself, and I. Bam, 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 bam. Right? You know that song right there? Well, that was their jam. Everybody loves that song. It was fucking,
just Me,
obviously, it's
Myself,
fucking the
and-
funk, right?
Yeah.
They always talk about how
Shout out BDR.
they always fucking talk about how they hated that song, and
Yeah.
that was the worst song that they hated, but they still perform it, and they're like,
Because they know it's a hit.
it's a hit, because obviously you're gonna play the songs that people want to hear, right?
That's tight.
So it's kind of like a guilty way to perform. Like they're just like, we're gonna perform it, but we're gonna tell everybody how much we hate the song.
Yeah. Wait, okay. Actually, that's an interesting note because do you think, let me ask you this. Do you think that's the best De La Soul song?
No,
Okay. What's the best De La Soul song?
my favorite De La Soul song.
Because that's the one that
I
most
have a
people
lot.
know, right?
I have a lot.
That's
yeah.
the one that when you mention De La Soul, they're like, oh, I just me, myself, and I.
Yeah,
And that's
that
like the song
one
that comes to mind.
or
Exactly. Beep, beep, boop,
3
boop,
Feet
boop,
High and
boop.
Rising or Break of Dawn. There's a lot of different ones, but mine is I Am I Be.
Why?
I don't know. I just like that song. I like the jazz instrumental on it, and it just kind of like I like the flow and the breakdown, and it kind of sounded really jazzy, and it was like introspective. I like the one that was rapping earlier, like dip dip da, you're making me cry with
Yep.
that onion between your thighs. The Onion song.
Wait, so what was it that got you in about De La Soul? Separate of the fact that they're hip hop, separate of the fact that maybe it was a part of a genre that you listened to, what was it that really got you about them?
Well, in an era where everybody was gangster rap, they kind of threw a curveball to me, and I got to listen to them a little bit later
Yeah.
in life. I kind of got the opportunity to say, you know what? Like, I don't have to be hard because I wasn't, battling with myself growing up in the neighborhood. Not in like a crazy gangster neighborhood, but
Right.
like, being as a Latino, you got to choose. You're going to hang out with these guys. You're going to hang,
100%.
or you're going to just,
That's like any person of
Yeah.
color hood. You have that option and that
Yeah.
choice, and or at least in those ex-urban, suburban areas, right? and you get the choice and you get the ability, and it's interesting because there were two paths, right? It was the De La Soul more fun, less intense.
Yeah. So it was like, 93 to 95, maybe around that time, where I got to choose, do I be hard, or do I just be a love spirited, give out joy, positive hip hop vibe?
And that's when he started pistol whipping.
Yeah, and then that's when I put down the 4/4 and pulled out a daisy.
That's so De La Soul. I just think of that cover of all the daisies and stuff.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, De La Soul is Dead is probably like everybody's favorite album, but my favorite album is Balloon Mind State.
Why do you like Balloon Mind State?
See, just every song, you can listen to that album from beginning to end, and every song is a banger, yo. Like, it's just, I love it. I love like Patty Dukes. I love all that stuff, all the vibes, and then they were introducing a lot of artists like Common on there, and like a lot of different people that were in that native tongues.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, you're starting to realize, so listening to De La Soul and experiencing De La Soul, shout out to Dangerous Do-Right who introduced me to De La Soul. When I was, a youngster. Then you go into deep dive and you go into, obviously you heard, like Scenario and Tribe Called Quest, but then when you go into like the early albums and you push it along, and Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. And then you go to like, Black Sheep, obviously you heard, Engine number 9, all those songs, you know what I mean? Like, and then like, Strobe Light and everything, all the popular songs are on the radio because hip hop was on the radio. Like
at that point. That's
like
when
real hip hop. Excuse me, I got a burp because of this beer. Excuse me.
That was a simultaneous burp. Someone throw on an air freshener real quick.
But then you got to hear, all these people, Tribe, you got, Black Sheep, everybody from the native tongues, leaders of the new school, which
that was like the introduction to them.
to Busta Rhymes, to everybody, to everybody that in that little area, Prince Paul and, him as a producer, him producing for, obviously for not Wu-Tang, but Miyagi. See, I'm telling you, I'm allergic.
Just say anything and we'll call it a paisa attack.
Okay, no, I can't do that.
That's where he draws the line, folks.
with RZA and Gravediggers. So Gravediggers, right? Gravediggers.
All the
Prince
hip-hop
Paul producing
experts
for
in this room.
Gravediggers, and then introducing me to Wu-Tang. Like all those things that combine into that little circle of real hip-hopness from New York. And obviously, when you're from somewhere from LA and everybody's bumping the same thing and you want to be different.
I'm different.
You always, gravitate to the other coast,
Right.
And like, especially being a Latino, it was really hard for a Latino to, especially a Mexican, to be down with quote unquote traditional hip hop without being a rapper, which is like a gangster rapper or a lowrider rapper or whatever.
Which is not the experience that you have or where you come from, right? So it's one of those things where you fall into you have to like choose these kind of areas, especially when you're first getting into types of music, because it's so intertwined with your identity. It's so intertwined with who you hang out with. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, but because shout out to everybody. I mean that kind of introduced me to hip hop. But then when I got into Cypress Hill, and then it opened the doors to De La Soul, then it opened the doors to everybody else. Yeah. Then I was like, yo, this is where it comes from. Yep. And I was watching a video the other day with Fat Joe and Diamond D, and if it wasn't for someone like Diamond D, you wouldn't have a Kanye West. You wouldn't have all these artists that you see now.
That's the origins.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a DJ Khaled. You know, like. These are people that inspired that second or third wave of producer, writers, singers. Because Diamond D literally put people on, even though he was a rapper and a producer as well.
Wild.
And even though you don't even know who Diamond D is, but go listen to those shit. Listen to those albums. Yep. Diamond D.
Those are origins. That's
DITC, Digging in the Craze Crew.
The birthright almost.
Oh my god, dude! Hip-hop. DITC. If you don't know about, if you claim to be a hip hop head and you don't know about DITC, get the fuck out of here.
Militant. This is a militant food right here. Wait, okay. I actually not that long ago was looking and I was listening to De La Soul. A lot of their music's missing from streaming, right?
Oh yeah. Well.
So what's the deal there?
So. Obviously streaming, right? You know about this. You release music a lot.
Yeah.
And what were the number one things hip hop producers do?
Sample.
They sample.
Yeah.
And a lot of these motherfucking, I think they're under Columbia Records or something.
Okay.
I think I'm not sure. Don't quote me.
Fact check. Paisa check.
Paisa check. Paisa check. Columbia
Paisa
Records.
check.
But obviously when I think De La Soul recently wanted to obviously because of the hype of streaming and it started.
Just the ease, right?
Yeah, and it started. There's a new generation that needs to hear all this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like me to have this feeling that I have.
Yeah.
There's a new generation that needs to have this type of energy, right? This passion for this type of music, kind of like you would have for the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin or whatnot.
Whoever, yeah.
But it's not available, and it's because fuck it, we're going over today. So and the reason is because these record labels don't want to take the time to pay for these samples. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's also hard.
Well, yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard to clear.
I mean, granted, these big labels have the money to do it. There's no question.
But they don't. But they said that. So every time De La Soul brought it to the table to them, like, hey man, we want to start streaming our classics, they would say, well, they would give them the run in the bush. Give them the runaround.
Yeah, because then you have to go through each track and identify the sample, contact the people who are in charge of it and the publisher, get the mechanical cleared, all that stuff. Man, and that's crazy because they probably have, they can have upwards of maybe 2 to 3 samples a track, right? Maybe 2 to 3 samples a song. At that point, you're talking about having to contact so many different parties.
Well, yeah, and not only that, and then they would get the runaround, and then by the time they would get back to it and their lawyers, there would be someone else in charge of their music. Because you know how record labels be selling the rights to their music to different record labels. I know they started off with Tommy Boy Records. Right. And then they were beefing with Tommy Boy Records. But they were those are a sub-labels to the bigger companies, right? So
which it's all, all the record labels end up becoming down to 4 companies.
Right, yeah. Then it's like a monopoly in
pretty
a sense,
much. They just all have sub-labels and imprints.
Yeah, so you know how it is.
Otra. Otra. This is delicious.
Let's go for another beer, and then we're going to talk about what we talked about De La Soul. We obviously know what De La Soul is about.
Well, if y'all haven't listened, go educate yourselves. Thanks,
Educate yourself, please. This is my second favorite beer right here, though. Let me see if I can open it with this side.
Damn.
This is Mexican style.
That's Mexican style. Where's the lighter? Someone's going to pop it open with the lighter. I can do it with my 2 front teeth.
This is my second favorite beer. This is called the Duval.
Wow.
Duval. If you guys don't know, now you know. Let me see.
We're only drinking 8+% alcohol beer today.
This one's 8.5.
As I said earlier,
that was 9.
Don't quote me on anything I say. Even though this is going to be recorded and I get to chance to watch it later.
This is going to be super crisp.
That was a great pour.
That was not that good of a pour. It's just.
Blame it on the cup, fool.
I don't know if it's the cup, but I think you want to get this little.
Yeah, I'm sure you want some foam.
But here you go. I'm gonna try. Here you go.
Wow.
All right. So tell me a little bit about your favorite musicians.
Well, damn.
We're different genres here, so
we are different genres, and it's funny because. De La Soul was popping off, in
the 90s.
In the 90s.
Well, I think the first album dropped in 89 or something like that. 88.
So I was born in the 90s, but all the music I listened to growing up was music from 10 years, 20 years before. So I grew up, and my favorite band to this day is actually the Smiths, because I'm a little sad boy.
Ooh, sad boys.
Yeah, I'm a little sad boy.
Shout.
Why is it? Okay, all right. You know what? Actually, I'm going to answer this question here on camera. Let me tell you. The reason, first of all, the Smiths are sad boys, sad girls all day. Just the boy with a thorn in his side. Right, flowers in your back pocket and stuff.
Crying
all
right
day.
now.
But
fucking
that's
gangster,
also the reason. That's also the reason why Mexicans and Latinos love the Smiths. Because we listen to stuff like banda, which is so sad but sounds so happy.
Or like corridos.
Or corridos, Juan Gabriel,
or
Vicente.
Or like, what you call it, boleros, or rancheras.
You know what it is? It's like... Yeah. Damn. We're actually starting a group, a trio here right now. But it's one of those things where... And Morrissey's a shithead. I'll say that on camera. I don't really care. But basically, he kind of takes on that idea of machismo. Right? So when you grow up in traditional Latino culture, there's this concept. Oh, salud. Gracias. Salud. I could smell that. I could smell how strong that is. That's delicious. This is arguably the champagne of beer. Just break it on the floor, bro. Call it a day. Just on your head. This is arguably could be the champagne of beers.
That's really good, right? Mm-hmm. This is like a really crisp taste. So why do Mexicans, besides the fact that that we're super emotional?
Machismo. It's challenging machismo, right? Because you grow up and your dad or your grandpa or your tios or whoever are always telling you, be a man, be a stronger man.
You know what I always thought it was? I thought it was guys like the Smiths because girls like the Smiths. So you kind of wanted to get an in with the girls.
Potentially. But I think that's the reason the Smiths have maintained their
That's how I feel
interest
about a couple
for the
genres.
next 30 years. Think about it. Yeah. I mean, the Smiths released their last album, Strange Ways Here We Come, in 1987.
Yeah.
Right? And they released, I want to say, Paisa Facts, 1984 was their first album. And between that time frame, I was born in 93.
Right. So
I was a baby.
But so you think Latinos kept it alive?
I don't think Latinos solely kept it alive. Right. I think the Smiths have a cult following.
Because that's 10 years after. That's 10 years.
Over, potentially. Yeah. I mean, by the time I'm actually listening to music, right? And granted, I mean, my family listened to music, right? But my family listened to it, my sister.
But it became part of the culture. It became part of the
100%. And especially Angelinos. Just
like, the fucking Atomic Dog became part of our culture.
It was a part in. And I think it's because it challenges those notions and is still acceptable.
So I can imagine you right now in high school.
Oh man,
with your spiky hair.
I actually have curly hair, so I could never do the spikes. I was really jealous.
Yeah.
So I just had a big mop.
Which big ass mop?
I'll send a photo and we'll put it right here. But a big mop.
But the big ass mop with some tight ass fucking jeans.
Tight
and
black
Vans.
jeans. I actually wore tux. Because I really like the idea of wanting to be British.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just did.
Yeah.
And I was, Manchester, just out here.
No mames, way.
Pretty much, just kind of walking around
and then
my heart's a miserable lie.
And then he was just like his face against the wall, and then what's wrong, Victor? Oh,
nothing. I saw this TikTok video the other day, actually, where there's this Latino parent with his arms crossed behind his back, and he's looking out the window really dramatically, and the daughter goes up to him and she says, "Dad, what's wrong?" He's like, "I'm hungry, but no one wants to cook food, so I have to do it myself." I'm like, oh my God. That fool's a Morrissey fan. He's a Smiths fan.
Fuck yeah.
But I think it's the expression of those emotions. I think that's why it resonates so well with Latino culture. And I think that plays into this idea of challenging those notions. It's the same reason why no one said and no one questioned, your abuelitas never questioned that Juan Gabriel was gay.
Or Walter Mercado. I mean, we don't even know right now.
We don't even know. That fool said that his sexual expression, he has sex with the wind. That's what Walter Mercado said on his Netflix documentary.
Oh, yeah, he did. He said that.
He said, I have sex with the wind.
With art.
With art. We're talking about just fluidity and expression.
That partner was I think that partner.
Fluidity and expression. And I think that's what tied into that interest. But growing up for me.
My dad would, when Walter Mercado would get on the TV show, my dad would be like, quítalo. You wouldn't even want to see him. You were like, change the channel, hurry up.
Man, and this probably has to do.
Can you watch Primer Impacto?
This probably has to do with the fact that my mom and I were so close. And she was like my best friend, so we spent so much time together. She loved that shit. That's why I'm kind of like, oh, you're a Leo? Wow, that makes so much sense. Oh, you're a Virgo? Wow, that makes so much sense. Nah. You know what I mean? My mom was into that stuff. But I think that's the big thing, and that's how that plays into kind of that overall expression. But I wish I could have seen the Smiths. And I actually was thinking about it a couple days ago. If they had actually reunited, that VH1 reuniting the band or whatever,
right.
They actually tried to talk to them about it, but Morrissey's such a come mierda. He was refused, and he was in a whole asshole about it. I mean, he's the one I would say he's the one who broke up with them.
He's like Billy Joe and shit.
Yeah, he's just diva.
He doesn't care about the band. He's the man.
He was. I heard so many horrible stories about him being such a jerk at shows or backstage or whatever. I mean, it's one thing to be a vegan or vegetarian or whatever, but to cancel shows, to cancel festivals, to not show up for shows, fans who paid all this money to come see you, it's crazy. But he's the one who broke up the band. Yeah. I mean, there was already a bunch of tensions within the band, and this is just me as a Smith stan, and I'm just kind of let me tell you about the Smiths real quick, And it's. You have all this internal conflict, all of them trying to be divas and all of them hitting this crazy fame of success from the UK coming to the US. The fact that they've gotten so culturally involved in a demo that's not even theirs, right? And the fact that they've become such ingrained in a rite of passage for so many people. I mean,
generations. I mean, especially in the Latin community. I mean, that's actually coming back.
100%.
I'm starting to see a young generation now that are I mean, you're already one of them, but I'm already seeing 17, 18-year-old boys that are all greasered out.
Yep.
And they're ready to do the whole rebel thing all over again.
Yeah. and it's crazy because all those things for some reason just don't disappear.
It just keeps rebooting.
And I mean, you called it
It's
the
the reboot.
mods, and for me, it was, the new wave kids.
Yeah.
Right? And it was the same deal.
I want the same thing for the hip hop kids, and I do see a lot of young kids that, that want to know about this type of stuff.
Right.
But like I said, the record labels will not let you because of the samples. I mean, at least the Smith played their own shit,
Yeah. I mean, it's true. That's just a part. That's just a part of the culture of the music. You know what I mean? That's just a part of how it goes. But I think in general, for me, I would have wished and just loved to see them. And for a lot of the people, I don't even really like a lot of their mainstream songs. Well, not that I don't like it, but I don't love them. Like "How Soon Is Now" is the Smiths' probably most famous song. And I think it's cool and I enjoy it, but it's not my favorite song. I actually like more of the stuff that's like all of them just jamming out. Because that's the world I grew up in. I grew up playing music. So when I was playing music, I was like, oh, I want to be like this bass player. Like, this guy's really dope and does some
Who's
cool
one of your
stuff.
favorite bass players?
I mean, man, one of my favorite?
Is that your instrument to go to?
Not really. Bass was just my first instrument.
Okay.
Bass was my first instrument. But I think, I don't know, man. That's changed so much. I mean, Flea's such a good bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Of course.
I mean, there's so many people who just go and kill it. I
Right.
actually think that the bassist from the Smiths, it was I think Andy Rourke, I think his name is. That might be wrong. Bicefact. But he's an amazing bass player for sure. Yeah, but I just think about, like, especially their first album. Their first album is, I think, their best album. Their self-titled album. Gross. And it's one of those things where it's like that music came out and combined elements of punk, elements of all of these different types of sounds and music. And that's the type of thing that I would have loved to see live. I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see them jamming and Morrissey doing all his like eccentric stuff before he really was a true asshole, or at least before the world
Was
knew
he one
was
of
an
the,
asshole.
I mean, I'm not, I know about Morrissey. Obviously, I know it's the more popular songs, but I don't really, I never really took a deep dive into that type of music because I wasn't feeling myself that much,
Yeah.
But,
I'm always feeling myself that much.
but was he one of those like Jim Morrison type of dudes where he wouldn't even look at the audience when he performed?
I don't even know. From videos I've seen, he kind of eats it up. I think he eats up the attention.
okay.
But you know what
Do you
people
remember
do?
Jim Morrison used to do that shit where he'd like put his back against
And
the
he
wall?
turn around.
Yeah.
Well, the things that happen at Morrissey shows or the Smith shows, because I saw Morrissey. I think Morrissey was my favorite, my first concert.
You
when
saw
I was
him
a kid.
actually live?
I saw Morrissey live.
Oh, fuck, that's amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was a kid, but basically what it was is
Who took you?
my sister.
Nah, shout out to Momo.
My sister.
Momo's a shit, bro.
And so the first thing that went down is I noticed everybody kept on running on the stage and hugging him and just smothering him. And that was the thing that would happen. You can't do that during COVID anymore.
how?
Imagine playing a show and a fan runs up to you, just drop kick them if they're not wearing a mask.
Dude.
I would trip a fan and throw them off stage. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's so scary right now.
Just imagine. Or imagine even worse, someone with a mask and a face shield and gloves running towards you. It's like a monster.
So I'm gonna let's crack this other beer real quick right here. We're gonna crack this real beer right now. We're power drinking right now.
Damn. This one's a special
Drink up, asshole.
Damn. So
So I'm gonna
was
talk
really
about.
crisp.
I wish,
that tasted like an alcoholic apple.
right? It was really good, right? It doesn't taste too bitter
No,
or nothing.
that's
It was
delicious.
just, and it's strong.
Wow.
So the goal is to get fucked up without getting bloated. That's my goal. But we have a special.
Torta things.
So check this out. Talk a little bit about this right here, because
Bro, this
I mean,
is
you're a Morrissey fan right here and hip hop fan.
100%.
And he knows these guys, even
Yo.
though I grew up with these guys. I mean, not necessarily too much blue, but
this is an
Exile.
IPA.
I mean, I know this guy for over 20 years, and
This is a Blue and Exile beer, bro.
Exile, he actually performed at third place in Pomona in the early 2000s when he was part of a group called Emanon with Aloe Black.
Yo, this is also in partnership with the Cervecería Mundial.
Yeah, dog. This is,
Shout out to the Latinos.
he's very pro black, brown, everybody unite.
Double Hazy IPA, Blue and Exile's latest album release called Miles by scanning the QR code. Who's got a QR scanner?
Nobody? We'll do it later. Let's pour ourselves a little beer real quick. This will
one
be
out
the
for the
last beer
homies.
of the day right here. The Blue and Exile special edition. Go get this shit before it runs out. Look at that label,
pour.
though. They got some new music out,
Look
too,
at that
right?
pour, bro.
They got some new music. You guys know that new album? What's it called?
I just said it.
What's it called?
It says right there.
Oh, Miles. That's right. Miles. I think it's after Miles Davis.
Oh, God. What are we even talking about anymore?
I don't know, bro. But I want to talk about who I wish I would have saw live.
Who do you wish you would have
Who
saw
do you
live?
wish you would have saw live?
The Smiths.
You saw the Smiths. You saw Jim
I
Morrison.
saw Morrissey. You
didn't see the
He
whole
said
group.
I saw Jim Morrison. I did see the Doors.
Yeah, you did see the Doors? No, but see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like I break out.
Salud. He said I break out.
Look at that. Look at that. It is an IPA. Look at
Oh
that.
my goodness. That's an IPA, bro.
So I'm not really a fan of IPAs, but we're gonna give this one a shot because it's the fam right here.
Oh, wait. That's a really good IPA, though.
Really? Let me see.
Yeah, that's like orangey. That's super citrusy. God damn.
It's like Blue Moon. It tastes like Indo.
Wow.
It tastes like
Wow.
Indo.
That's fantastic.
Man,
Well, we are fucked up.
This
Welcome to
this
the-
tastes like what Exile and blues music sounds like.
This is a liquid form of Blue and Exile.
This literally, oh my god.
This is probably the most
I'm a
I've
fan
drank
of
during
IPA now.
quarantine, you guys. He just...
I'm a fan of IPA now, bro. This is actually really fucking good, bro. Like, oh my god.
Okay, but don't you miss going to shows and just drinking and hanging out with your homies and running into friends and going outside and being too drunk and just doing stupid
Well,
shit
you're like
at the
me
show?
though, but in a different area, like in a different area and a different time. So you're part of the show community.
For sure.
So like
that's such a big thing.
Okay,
for
there's
me.
a difference between show goers and people that are part of the show community.
Because you have either participated in throwing shows,
Yeah.
right? Booking artists.
So you would just like, to me, sometimes it was more fun just hanging out with your friends.
Oh, dude.
Than it was actually seeing the performances.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and the performances are there, but it's the thing where you know you're going to a show and you're going to see all of your homies you haven't seen in a while.
and then me as a promoter, so to me, my favorite thing was the end of the show when everybody was a little buzzed and I'm passing out flyers and I'm catching
For the
up with
next show?
Yeah, for the next show, and I'm catching up with all the people that showed up to that show. And like catching up with them and seeing and then hanging out with the freestyles after the show. Like that was my
the outside ciphers.
the outside ciphers.
The dirty dogs that you grab because you're so wasted and you
All
just
the
need a
dirty
chance
dogs.
to actually eat.
or
they're
the
only $3?
crazy Jamaican food in the end.
Yo, any of the what is it called? The jerk chicken?
Jerk chicken.
Yo.
Oh my gosh.
We are
bro.
true tortas. It went from shows to food so quickly. Moment of silence.
COVID.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I miss shows, bro. And I was going to a lot of shows a year, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm happy that one, we get a chance to talk and kick it every week. This is my outing for the week.
Well, but besides, I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, but
He cut me off.
this is a blessing though, because shows, you work 3 months out of the year to promote one show.
Yeah.
And then it fucking goes away in 4 hours.
That's
right?
it.
5 hours, it just disappears.
Done.
This video is gonna last forever, bro.
And that's the stuff we're putting out here at What Are the Plans. That's the stuff we're making. We're making these videos that last a lifetime. You know?
as long as you got YouTubes,
All the YouTubes. All the YouTubes, they're there. They're there. And it's special. It's a special experience because even if you weren't physically there at the recording, the idea is you can sit with it and you can spend time with it and you can feel as if you were there in the moment.
and not only that, these artists that we're breaking, especially these newer artists that get a chance to perform, and as they progress and they grow. I got a little fuzz. As they grow and they progress and become your favorite artist, and they become platinum recording artists.
Yeah.
You can say, I saw them here first.
Yep.
At Water the Plants.
Water the Plant. I saw their Shot in the Dark performance 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Boom.
Amazing. And that's what we're trying to do.
planting the
here.
seed.
That's what
No
we're
puns
doing.
intended.
And we're watering the plants.
There you go, baby. Now you
Órale.
get it. Now you
You
get
already
it.
know.
You get it.
As always, we got 3 amazing artists coming to you next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Tuesday, tell us about this. We got Shot in the Dark.
Today, Shot in the Dark. Who do we got? Let me see.
I see.
Oh, Achee.
There you go.
Achee.
Performing Ants on a Shot in the Dark.
Well, Achee, dude, is from the Hours Band. He's doing his solo thing on this one. He does his rhyme. He kills it. It's a beautiful performance. Achee, he's a part of a band.
I mean, that group is so strong too because they all perform with each other and it's like they work off of each other. So to be able to, because we've also had someone from our band who just did solo too.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, Deanna
Stewart, who we
Deanna
just
Stewart.
featured. And it's one of those things where you see them perform together and they work off of each other, right? It's a dynamic. But then you also see them perform separately.
Oh yeah, and they all do their thizzle.
And they all shine.
They all do their thug thizzle.
They all shine.
And Achee, Big Ace, he plays the keys on the band, but he's working on, producing and recording some of his solo shit, which is amazing. So I love his energy. I love his personality. He's really great. He's very energetic. He's a team player. He's an athletic type of dude. He played sports, basketball, so he kind of gets it,
Tight performer.
And he's really competitive, and he's trying to win every day. So I give him mad props, and I want to put gasoline on that fire right there. So
Hell yeah. That's Tuesday. And we have that Shot in the Dark. On Wednesday, we have a live at Growtown with the Moon Jays doing electricity. What was the nickname again?
Angel Voice.
Angel Voice. And that sums it up. That literally sums it up.
His voice is amazing.
It's like silky smooth.
Oh my gosh, dude.
There's something about it where you listen, you're just like single tear, bro.
If you didn't see the Shot in the Dark already, didn't we already release one of the Shot in the Darks for him?
I saw fact. No.
I saw fact, not yet? Oh, wait
for that.
wait. That's going to be, you're going to blow, dude, this guy, you're like, is that, like, how did he get his, like, he's amazing. He's
But
like,
the live at Growtown is
he's
so
like the
good.
Temptations, but like in a different body.
It's amazing. I mean, the live at Growtown is just so good. Fully fledged, fully formed. It's seeing the manifestation in its full intensity. You know what I mean?
He's amazing.
And really seeing that voice shine.
He's a beautiful musician.
Angel voice, that's it.
I want to continue to see this guy around. I would love to work with him here in the studio,
Shout out.
post-COVID,
Let's go. And on Thursday, we got Black Noise doing Wishes for Fishes.
Wow.
Shot in the Dark.
My gosh. These guys are amazing. These guys can just kill it.
It's pretty out of this world.
And it's all part of the same Long Beach kind of like...
It's just a whole scene, man.
like
There's
scene
a
of-
whole amazing scene out there that's really out there doing something special.
And this is new
There's
to me.
something in the Long Beach water, bro. I don't know what
And
it
then
is.
there's something about that too. Like it's like after my kind of genre where a lot of the the culture became more of a musician than gravitating to just grabbing the mic or producing. They were actually grabbing instruments and working on their vocals and singing.
Actually, just perfecting their craft.
Singing and rapping is not a bad thing anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I think you got like artists like John Legend.
Right.
They're kind of like thanked for that to make them acceptable and like kind of more R&B hip hop community.
Well, that was a way for them to phase into the pop center
Yeah.
kind of the sound, right?
And I'm not trying to put them in the same category because this guy is amazing.
It's
singer.
different,
This
yeah.
is different.
It's so different, but
It's
it's
rock
so
and
good.
roll. It's soul. It's blues. It's all gumbo, beautiful harmonies. And you're gonna love it. I know that you get to see a little clip on our Instagram, but go check out the full performance.
You gotta
on
watch it because that's really the full experience.
Yeah,
and that's the case with all these videos.
And not only that, don't take a deep dive.
Yep.
After you watch the video, go check out their Spotify. Go check out their SoundCloud. Go
click
check
through
out.
all of our videos.
Yeah.
Shot in the Dark playlist. We got our Live at Growtown playlist. We got our Topsoil playlist. It's beautiful. Are you double fisting right now, bro?
No, I was just looking. I was just admiring this beautiful artwork. It's beautiful artwork.
It is beautiful artwork.
Miles.
Check it out. Tuesday, Wednesday,
Blue's
Thursday.
got rhymes for miles and miles and miles.
Next week.
And
we get Shot in
Exile's
the
got
Dark.
beats for miles and miles and
Live
miles.
at Growtown. Another Shot in the Dark. I think it's time for that special moment, especially as you pour up. Pour up.
All right, check it out. Check it out.
Diiick of the week.
The American people.
No, fool, that was last week.
Rewind.
So we watched.
Rewind. This dick
Of this week.
Oh no! Let's do it again.
This dick of the week. So we were watching the Dodger games last week.
Yeah,
We were watching the Dodgers games last week, and sports is back, as we talked about in the last episode. And we just want to give a big shout out and a nice big fuck you to the owners of all of these American major league sports.
Wow. I wouldn't go as far as saying fuck you, but
No, I'll say it. That's
but
fine.
you can say it. But my point is like, you know, yo, Alan, cue in Bronx Tales, fucking Sonny talking about the Yankees and what they did for the young Big C,
Press play.
Mr. Collegio. What the fuck do these owners think? Like, I'm picturing.
Who do they think we is?
I'm picturing the boardroom with.
Wait. You mean when you're wait? Let's rewind because we're watching the game, and you're watching the game. There's no one in the stands. You know that no one can go to these games.
Yeah,
and what do you see in the background?
Well, you see these cutout boards.
These fucking cutout, whatever pictures of people in seats.
Yeah.
In fucking seats.
But my point is like, I want to see that Zoom meeting where the owners are hanging out right there, and they're like, "We got a great idea, boss. We're gonna sell seats, cardboard boxes for $300
Between $100 and $300, sir.
We're gonna fill 60,000 seats with cutout boards for $300 a piece, and then we're gonna make money off the people, off the backs of the people
charging
that
the baseball
to me that's
teams,
a fucking ripoff, bro.
including the Dodgers, are
And then-
charging people between $100 to $300
And you
plus
sent me a post where the guy took out the whole pavilion just to
He
fucking
bought
put
the
his
whole
face,
pavilion
just to put his stupid face on TV. Like,
to buy a seat to put a cutout of you, a photo of you in the stands.
I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, like, do these billionaires that
As if Dodger fans didn't support a ton already.
So right now we're living in 2020.
There's a worldwide pandemic going
the
on.
worldwide pandemic.
Unemployment's at
These
its highest.
billionaires have gotten even richer.
Bit richer.
Richer and richer. The fucking 1% of the world is getting even fucking richer and stronger. They've increased.
They're just prison buff, bro.
They're doubling up. They're calisthenics. They took away the weights, but now they can fucking climb up walls and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wall walk.
You know
They're
what I mean?
Spider-Man.
But they never lose. But obviously they're making their money somewhere else. They own their team.
How much is it to buy a T-shirt, bro? Like $40?
But not only that, a hot dog, whatever. It doesn't
Hot
matter.
dogs, $8?
It doesn't matter.
Beer, $12?
They're already rich. They're already rich. Can we fucking get a fucking bucket?
Yo,
Can the fucking
something.
the fans? There's people that fucking spend $20,000-$30,000 fucking dollars a year to fucking that they can't afford really just to have fucking
support
season
this team.
tickets, just to fucking be a diehard Dodger fan and sit there in the fucking nosebleeds, whatever. But that's their seat, and people remember their name, and fucking when they go there every day and they go support their team, it's the only thing that they do that fucking gives them joy and happiness in their life. When a time when they fucking
It's
have to
something
work
they can
50
enjoy.
hours a week,
It's something
fucking
they
working
can
in a
come
factory,
home,
you know what I mean?
They can look forward to.
And then
they
these
can
dickheads
plan
are
their
starting
week
to make more
around.
money off of these people. What
Yo,
the fuck?
at this point, fans are ATMs, bro.
Can we fucking give them something? Can we just say, hey, you know what? You've been a fucking loyal fucking fan for fucking 20 years. Can we give you your fucking own shine right now? You're the reason why fucking baseball exists. And then this time of day, can we give you some fucking love?
But we're contributing to that, bro. We as fans know this. We know that they're making money off of us, that they're profiting through any way they can to take from us. They're not charging us for a piece of cardboard in the stands and seats that are going to be empty no
Fuck
matter
that.
what.
I would never buy that
And they're
shit.
not if they're not charging or making money off of us from $15, $20 beers at the stadium. It's some other way. But we keep coming back.
Yeah, well, because we're fucking slaves to the system, bro, and we're used to it. We have Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome, man. It's one of those things. It's that moment where you realize there's a fucking problem, but are we gonna stop contributing to the problem?
I don't know, man. It kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth when I saw that.
Yeah, it sucks,
it makes me not want to watch baseball anymore. And my son, he's all into video games, and me and him, we were always trying to let's go outside, let's work on our fucking game, let's work on your fucking hitting, your fucking grounding. I'm almost saying like, yo, man, fuck baseball. Let's fucking work on fucking your Sonic the Hedgehog skills. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
I'm committing. Let's go full in. Let's go full in.
You know what
I mean,
like-
it's just such a thing where you see sports that actually empower players and empower fans and give them the opportunity to be a part of the experience and how things benefit
Yeah.
so tremendously when that actually happens, right? When you actually do that. I mean, let's look at the difference between Donald Sterling and Jerry Buss.
Yeah, well,
Right?
that's polar
Polar
opposites.
opposites.
Yeah.
And see how much it changed the game. It changed the game of NBA, the game of basketball. You
Right,
know?
right.
I mean, fucking owners, all we're saying is in
Well,
the
I mean-
middle of a global pandemic when everybody's losing their jobs and there's already a lack of hope or faith going, then give back to your fans, bro.
But I mean, okay, obviously, Jerry Buss, he gave you the showtime.
Right.
He gave back to the fans. He created a culture, a fucking an experience, at very least. Someone like Donald Sterling maybe would say like, hey, you know what? I make my money over here somewhere. I make my money on TV deals or whatever. And obviously he was the fucking owner of the Clippers,
Right.
which was, you had Darius Miles and, players that weren't that good in the hype of the Lakers' career playing in the same stadium, which they're still, even with Kawhi Leonard, having a hard time filling out that stadium. and
Yeah,
selling
because
out.
there's so much more. There's so much more to the
Because of the-
experience. It's entertainment. It's fucking entertainment. There's so much more to the experience than just the.
Even with Kawhi Leonard, fucking Clippers, and I'll say it right now, and because I'm a true fucking hip hop fucking Laker fan, Clippers are for deadbeat dads and office giveaways.
And on that note, this was the Greenhouse, episode 8. Thank you all for tuning on in. My name is Vic,
I'm the goodness.
and keep growing with the Greenhouse. We'll catch you all next week. Maybe we won't be as buzzed. Maybe we will.
Salud
Salud.
to
Cheers.
IPAs. I'm a fan
Till
now.
next week.